with the NES block, now we have Snow Brothers. Something that I need to mention about this is that this is the this game was also featured by myself on the first GG Speedruns marathon, but since then a lot of things has changed in the game. I mean, the estimate keeps being the same, but new strats have appeared that even can make that I can lower my estimate to 22 minutes. But I like to keep it as 24 because sometimes some mistakes are made. So if this goes well, I can get like a 20. So I'm gonna assume that we're ready for the timer. So let's keep going. So I'm gonna make it on 3. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, let's start with the action. The first thing that I want to be doing is something I like to call position manipulation. And it's gonna look like I'm playing randomly, but what am I doing is that I'm setting up the position of the enemies, because on most video games we're used that the cycles or RNG are the things that can make that the enemies make the things that they need to do, talk about their movement, attacks, etc., and a lot of things. But in this case, it's a bit different. In this game, depending on where do you move or your position on the map is where the enemies are going to be moving. So I'm trying to set up everything in order to manipulate the enemies and put them on the position that I want, just to gain some power-ups. And okay, this doesn't count. The time needs to keep going. I don't use to reset, but I needed to do that. But the time needs to keep going. Because here I started on a lucky way because I got the red potion on the first stage. That's something that is not so common to happen. And I'm working in a way to manipulate the game to try to get the red potion on the first stage. Now I got the yellow one. This is a bad signal because usually when you get the yellow potion on the first stage, that means that you're not gonna get the red potion on the second stage. I haven't got it on the first attempt, but considering that okay, I got the red potion. That's good. But considering that I got it on the first stage, that wasn't a problem. The Kira mashing, but I'm gonna do this on a safer way. What I was trying to do is to defeat these enemies on this order. And well, the good thing about the resets is that now I have all 3 potions, which is the best thing that you can get on the run. And I'm gonna be explaining why in a little bit. And that little bit means right now. So the way that you defeat the enemies is noble. Which is an enemy, that's a signal that that enemy is gonna be turned into an item. So it can be turned into a bonus item that just gives us points. That items are useless. Or also, wait a bit. Let me see if I can do something for marathon purposes. Okay, I wasn't able to do it. I was gonna make that some bills fall from the top of the screen, but that wasn't possible. So getting back to the topic, if a rolling snowball touches an enemy, that enemy is going to be turned into an item. And one of the items you can get are the potions. That can help us to make the run faster. So there's a way to manipulate the game in order to get the red potion on the second stage. Shoutouts to Salero, who was the guy who found the way to manipulate that potion. Because red potion is the one that is gonna make us moving faster, so that's the important potion on the game. Then you have the blue potion, which is also important for the run, because with that you can see that my shooting power gets increased. So with just two times that I hit an enemy, then it's gonna be turned into a snowball. The third potion, which is a yellow potion, it's not required at all, but it's a little bit helpful. The important ones are the red and blue. And now we start with the first boss. Not a big deal, just 6 hits and we're gonna be done. Also, you will see that I turn into a kind of rainbow, or that my character is flashing. I'm so successful defeated. So what I have done there is that when a rolling snowball touches you, and you jump out of the rolling snowball, you can gain some invincibility frames. So I'm gonna be using that on later stages, because with that I can be a bit safe, trying to do more risky movements to defeat some enemies. So fortunately, here Well, in this first boss fight, it's something really easy to do. I don't know. I'm not required. It's not required for me to do that. I prefer to do it as something safe. You don't waste time setting up that, so that's the reason why I do that. Because with the first boss, you need to wait until it head through you some enemies. And yes, Tom, which is the red character, is the one that the second player uses. In this case, since we are playing the first player, we are Nick, the blue snow brother. And well, as you have seen, the category it's named All Stages 1 Player, which is basically like 100% of the game. Because there are some ways to skip some stages. On stages 11 and 12, you can find a Lotto Back item, which allows you to skip some stages. And also on the stage 32. So in this category, we are not allowed to do that. I prefer to run this instead of the any person category, because any person is boring. I need to say that, I need to mention it. The reason why I consider that it's boring is because the way that you skip stages is not like in other games that, for example, in Bubble Bobble, when you grab the item that allows you to skip stages, you can see how directly you move to a specific stage. Here you have the same gambling machine as when we defeat a boss, which is also those stuff with the gambling machines are exclusive from this NES port. Those things are not available on any other version of the game. So what that does is that basically on the any person category, as you get the Lotto back skip, you need to have a good timing with your inputs in order to skip as most stages as you want. So since you need to keep waiting because the most stages you can skip, the most extra points that you're going to be getting, that's something really boring because you need to wait until all of those points stops getting added to your total amount of points. So that's the reason why I don't find so much attractive any percent. Even on the leaderboard, any percent doesn't have so many runs, and well, that's the reason why it's not so wrong. And our second boss, this was slightly modified from the arcade release, and I get up a pattern, but don't worry, I can make it. I don't know what I have failed this, and now, okay, on this point we cannot reset. Since this is a marathon, we don't need to reset, so this is the reason why I keep the estimate as 24. Please die. Okay, that was what. So now, since I have died, I don't have the power-up, so this is gonna be a bit slower. Yeah, there we go. 7 hits and we're done. So this was modified from the arcade release because this is a port from the arcade game release in 1990. This NES port appeared in 1991. And again, this gambling machine is just a thing from the NES version. So you can get here a letter from the Snow World, you can get a 1-up, or you can get an X, or a cross. In this case, I want to get as much X letters as I can, because as you have seen, those X doesn't give you points. And the most points you get, the most slow that you're going to be moving to the next stage. So we try to get as less points as we can. And okay, I got double potion, that was good. So, in summary, that's something that can make you lose more time. It's just a small difference with some seconds, but considering top times, that puts you in a different situation. And also, every time that I get items, I need to get all of them, because on the arcade release, if you defeat all the enemies, there are some items on the screen, the game is gonna move you after some time. It doesn't matter you haven't catch all those items. But in the NES port, the game waits until you get all the items. So once there are no items and enemies, you're good to go. And now I got the yellow potion. I would be glad if I can get the red potion later. Something to mention is that spawn with the yellow potion, it's a backup one. So I'm really surprised that I was able to spawn it, considering that I'm moving slow. So, technical data about the game on the next stage. For now, on this floor 25, I need to be careful. And from this blue tornado, guys, I don't know why I have to freeze this guy. I need to be careful with the one with this enemy on the on the right, because if I should have tried to defeat this enemy first, that enemy should have killed me, because that enemy doesn't just turn into a tornado. If they see you, they can throw you a knife. Okay, I need to be careful. Okay, that was good. And I got the blue potion again. Also on these sections I need a snowball in order to jump, so I need to be careful. Because that also can make that I can miss an enemy and that I cannot defeat them correctly. Well, that I cannot defeat quickly the enemies. Probably I'm gonna get that red potion on the next stages. So the game in total has 50 stages, as you have seen. It's a very short game, like most of the NES games back in the day. Okay, this is bad. Okay, there we go. Spawn. You need to be careful because in this case, if I defeat an enemy and that enemy get turned into an item, probably that enemy should have kept on the top of the screen, and it was gonna be more complicated for me to go for that item. This was something risky to do. Because usually I use invisibility frames there with the red potion, but again, I don't have red potion in the game. Decided to give me again the blue potion. This is a very blue day, I guess. And yes, Nick is the best Snow Brother. Now, third boss, this is gonna be interesting because I'm not used to defeat the bosses without the red potion. Because obviously this makes the game slow, and again this needed to happen. Looks like the game is not cooperating with me today. Okay, I have hit 3 times that bird, but that bird hasn't died. And there's a reason behind that. Because for some reason, the most far away you are from a snowball, well, the most away that an enemy is from a snowball, the most damage you're gonna make to it. And since I have died, and I'm gonna use a continue, unfortunately we're not gonna be able to watch the alternative ending. But don't worry, I'm gonna tell you what happened. It's not a big loss, so that's good. And again, this is the reason why you have the estimate 24 minutes. Well, why I have the estimate on 24 minutes. Yeah, it looks like the game is not cooperating with me. It looks like we have started a bit cursed this second day of the marathon. And now I got a 1-up because I got the snow world. And well, also, each letter gives you 10k points, and 1-up gives you 50k, so on those bonus sections you don't want to get a 1-up. But in this case, if I get an extra life with the snow world, that doesn't give me 50,000 points, so that's not bad. The bad thing is to spawn 2 or more lives, which is something really rare. But for example, on my run on best of NES marathon on last year, I got just in that gambling machine, if I remember correctly, was the one where I got 2 extra lives, which for now I think that's the only time in my life that I have a video footage about getting 2 lives on the gambling machine. And obviously that was something really bad, because the most points you get, the most lower that you're going to be moving to the next stage. Okay, there's a possibility that one of these can give me a red potion. Unfortunately I haven't got it. And the start on the next stage is going to be different, because I use the invisibility frames to defeat the enemies that are going to be on the top, but since I don't have red potion, this is going to be a bit complicated. And also, when I have a bad run like this, the myths say that you can make it worse. Because it's not so common that I get this kind of fails. But anyways, for some reason, well, not for some reason, it's the way that the game was developed. On the last boss fight, you're gonna be getting the blue red potions, so it's not gonna be so bad at all. I think that with the reset probably it's gonna be like a 25, 26. Okay, I was on a wrong spot, so I'm surprised that I haven't died. To wait a little bit. Okay. Probably I'm gonna die. Probably I'm gonna red potion. Oh my goodness, why? This needed to happen. That was good, I thought that I made something good and probably I'm gonna die again. Okay, I haven't died. I thought that this was gonna be good because I got the red potion, but at the same time, I was on a bad spot for it. Yep, let's keep going. The show needs to continue. And also, if those get red potion, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to reach it on time. Yes, I was aware. Okay, looks like the game is hating me right now. Yes, game, yes! Okay guys, sorry. I'm gonna be out of the estimate, unfortunately. I don't know why I'm having this awful luck. This is something that it's not common to happen. Yeah, and well, the cherry on the cake is this stage 39. Because here is the worst stage you can get, because on the middle sections of the stages, you get stuck. You need an enemy in order to be able to get out of there. So hopefully the tornado guy isn't gonna kill me. Okay. Fortunately this stage wasn't bad at all, because this is one of the most complicated stages, and the people who remembers the 4GG Marathon, because Mr. Dino never made the highlights, will remember that I have to say that that stage was something really problematic. Fortunately that has changed recently, because I found a new way, as you have seen, to wait and complete that stage on a safer way. And fourth boss, this was changed from the NES release, because on the NES release we have two of these guys, and you cannot freeze the fire enemies that you have seen. Some enemies spawn from the top, so you need to freeze them and throw them against the bosses. And also the second boss was changed because it spawned on the floor all the time, and yes, give me one up, make me lose more time. Because the second boss appears on the top and then slowly moves to the... sorry, on the bottom, and then... top of the screen. Top of the screen. This is gonna be like a 25 or 26, considering that I have resetted the game. And now I get this. Okay, I'm losing some data, so I'm gonna apologize if the stream freezes or gets buffered. I'm really sorry about this, but for some reason, sometimes randomly my internet is gonna fail like this in the mornings. And also, my internet decided to fail right now. So again, I apologize about this. Probably in a little bit, this is gonna get fixed. And well, with the face item, if I should have catched that item on the stage 41, new enemies were gonna spawn that can give me a letter from the snow word, so that's useless, not required. And now, if the slideshow allows you to enjoy this, on this last stages, for some reason you can get it's really easy to get the blue potions. At least when you're running fast. And this is another reason why I don't stream earlier. I got interrupted by my family because I have a really awful synchronization with my family. Well, I guess that this cannot be worse, or probably can. Honestly, I don't want to know. I don't want to know if it's gonna be worse. I don't want to know nothing right now. I just want to finish the game. That's the only thing that I want, so I hope that I'm gonna be able to do it. Oh, well, basically in this stage, you can see that there's a good combination of enemies. The bats are a bit problematic because those their movement is like the DVD logo on a lot of generic DVD players. Because you need to wait until they bonk on a corner, so that's gonna define their position. So the bats can make you lose some time. You know, last boss and probably the easiest stage. Well, this is the only. Well, the most easiest stage from any other port, because on any other versions of the game, the roof is gonna start to fall down slowly. And again, the game decided to kill me. Well, the roof starts to fall down slowly, which makes you lose. Well, that makes the stage a little bit complicated, but on the NES port this doesn't happen. And also, if you're a big fan of the RNG, you're definitely gonna love this boss. The reason behind this is because, as you have seen, each of these guys throws to the bubbles. Each bubble can have a potion, an enemy, a firewall, or nothing. On this case, I'm gonna try to get trapped in bubbles with items, because the most items that I get on the screen, the less bubbles I'm gonna be getting. So in this case, since I have missed an item and one item is on the top, I'm just gonna be having 3 bubbles. But in this case, since I got an enemy on the floor, I just got 2. In this case, I'm gonna have this firewall and that item, so that means that I'm just gonna be having 2 bubbles. So I try to keep the screen as clear as I can. And the complicated section is just gonna be, well, the complicated thing here is gonna be just the firewalls, because that's something that I cannot unspawn. So once they spawn, I need to wait until they disappear. On this case, again, I'm just gonna have 2 bubbles. So the less bubbles I have on the screen, the more slow that this is gonna be. And also the RNG factor appears in the fact that you don't know what thing is gonna spawn on the bubbles. So we need to wait until an enemy is getting spawned, and I have lost the count about how many times I have killed each of these guys. Well, we just need to wait until the game decides to be a nice guy. Comparing it with other bosses, the other bosses just required 6 hits. On this case, this boss required 10 hits each of them. So that's a total of 20 enemies that I need to throw against them. And the reason why I try to alternate the hits is because, obviously, if you defeat one of these guys, you're gonna have less bubbles. In this case, you're gonna have 2, so we try to get as much bubbles as we can. But again, I have lost accounts, so I don't know how many times I hit each of these guys. I don't know who is gonna be the first that's gonna be defeated. I don't know even what I have took as a breakfast, so you shouldn't be surprised that I'm not paying attention to this. Okay, I have defeated the guy on the left. The time's gonna finish once I defeat the guy. Well, the guy on the right. The time's gonna finish once I defeat the. Oh, time. The guy on the. Oh my god, this was a very bad run. Considering a mix of Dying of the Deads, the IRL RNG, and well, I feel bad with myself because this wasn't the run I was expecting to show. But it wasn't bad at all. I mean, I needed to reset on the first attempt because I was dumb. Well, quitting that, and this possible slideshow that should have appeared on screen due to my bad internet because now it keeps failing. And the time that I got is at 23:52. So technically I have finished under the estimate, but considering that I resetted the game and I started to lose some frames, probably the time is gonna be higher. Yes, 25:29. So in theory I have finished under the estimate, but since I have reset it and we have got all of these things mixed, I really apologize because this is not the way that I used to showcase this game. And I feel pretty bad with myself with some stuff I haven't here. But besides of that, I feel fine. I feel happy considering that anyways I was able to finish the run, which was the important thing. So I'm really happy about that. And well, I'm gonna explain really quick the ending of the game. So we got here the regular ending because I have used continue. That ending explains to us that well, you defeat King Scorch, which was the evil guy who kidnapped the twin princesses and also has put a curse on Prince Neg and Prince Tom, turning them into snowmen. And well, if we use at least a continue, and we're gonna be defeating King Scorch, the princesses are gonna be rescued, and the place is gonna come back to the kingdom. But if we don't use any continue, we defeat King Scorch, we get rid from the snowman curse, both princesses are rescued, and the brothers Nick and Tom gets married with the princesses. So that's like a kind of good ending. So first of all, I wanna say thanks to GG staff for giving me the opportunity of showcasing this game. As I have said before, I was expecting a better run, but this wasn't bad at all because there was a run a marathon like 2 years ago when a lot of bad things got mixed, mostly with my controller back in that day, that made me finish the run in like 29 minutes. So this wasn't bad at all. This is the rare cases when I can get out of the estimate. And again, there was a time when this game was one of my most rejected runs in marathon, so I'm really happy that I got the opportunity to showcasing this game here. Also, on the ESA Summer Online, I was able to showcase this game. I got a 20 on that run, so that wasn't bad at all. And I feel a bit sad because with HDQ 2021, this game was rejected again. So this game has been rejected since 2017. So that's making me feel a bit sad, but every time that I have opportunity of showcasing this game, I really feel happy because there's a lot of people who has forgot the existence of this game when this game was so popular back in the day. So well, my short participation on this marathon has concluded, but there's a lot of amazing runs that we need to watch yet. This is just the second run of the second day of the marathon. We need to keep going with the NES block. And also, if you want to learn this game, if you want to learn the NES version of this game, on the leaderboard, I have put 2 guides, one on English and another in Spanish, to learn to run this game. And we're not grinding, you can finish this in under 20 minutes. I have talked about both categories, any percent and also one player, and I have covered all kind of strats on the game. So if somebody's interested in learning the game, I have the guide there, and also you can contact me on Discord. On my speedrun.com profile, you can find my information. Oh well, I think that we're a bit behind, so I'm gonna cut my speech here. Again, shoutouts to GG staff for giving me the opportunity of showcasing this game. I hope that for the next marathon I can showcase a different game, because I was gonna be busy this weekend, so hopefully on the next marathon I'm gonna be able to showcase more amazing and good games. So anyways, I was Go Senpai. Keep watching the marathon, because we need to keep going with the NES. So see you everybody, and thanks.